is tearing me apart. This life is tearing me apart. Remember when I was with you, when love was all we really knew. I saw the beauty in this world all around me. And I have tried to understand. You know, I've done the best I can. I miss the love that once was there to guide me. This life is tearing me apart. This life is tearing me apart. I didn't know it was nothing from the start. After all we've been through, where are you? So now it's over, gone so fast. Still all these pictures of my past. I thought that love was meant to last forever. This life is tearing me apart. This life is tearing me apart.
The Ticats released a statement this afternoon writing, Angelo Mosca was a legend. He was one of the most legendary players in CFL history and certainly the most legendary to ever wear a Tiger Cat uniform. His contributions to the game of Canadian football, to our organization, and to the Hamilton community will never be forgotten.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. Only seen here out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. We're a little late. As we were filming our This Week in Wrestling show, and I lost track of the time.
And your audio, but we won't get
and that's a whole other thing. Yeah, that's for sure. I want to thank you all for joining us. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Friday is right around the corner where wrestling fans will get to see AEW gear.
Yeah, full gear.
Full gear.
But
But tomorrow night you'll have. Well, we want to announce Superstar Bill Dundee canceled due to health reasons, but PG-13 will be in for a 2-hour interview, and we're going to open up with super agent Eric Sims, who's got a few to say. I want to welcome Maria Davis, 802 Blues, Chris Lee. 802 back on for monthly membership. Thank you, sir. We love seeing you there.
802.
Who else we got in here in the room right now? Matty, how was your weekend, pal? A mess in the house. How are you, sir?
I had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
He saw a barber. Look at him. What are you talking about? He's got the hoodie on. Oh, the back of my neck is cold. We all know why.
And it looks great.
What does a haircut run a young man nowadays, dollar-wise?
Tank Crusader.
$25.
$25.
Yeah.
$25 for a haircut.
Very interesting.
Oh, yeah. My shaver's about $15-18.
Okay.
I'm going to get one tomorrow.
I just pulled
Tank Crusader, thank you very much
shaved
for those
myself.
kind comments.
I just pulled my hair out. It's a lot cheaper to not go to somebody.
PJ, welcome. Loose Cannon, what up, baby? Good to see you, baby. I can't believe I'm even doing that.
What is that? Wait, what is bay? Wait a minute, help me out here. I'm very tired today. What is bay? Oh, Adam Cole.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
That's
This
your
is a
boy.
wrestling show.
That's
That's
your boy.
right. We're on the air. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you could reach back, our sponsor.
Reach back. I have to get up.
Our sponsor.
Reach back.
Tag, TAGG. The owners, Robert and Nancy Hendrick, came in. We were actually going to have them on the couch. But I don't know if you guys saw on the social media. they do this fantastic artwork. So Jimmy, you want
Is there like intro music for this? Like, that's the intro music. Matt, can they see this at home?
Oh yeah.
They can?
They
Yeah.
can see it.
Very nice. I'm speechless. How about you?
Loose
Mike?
Cannon says, I like it. ESO, Superstar Bill is not in the house. He is ill. He will not be in.
What
But
am I
Jamie
doing? I'm going this
Dundee,
way?
PG-13, will be here for 2 hours. So it should be fun. I do apologize. The Bill Dundee thing hit us a little late. So, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Explain to me your thoughts. First of all, I love this picture. Oh, my God. What an honor it is for them to take the time to make a painting of this show. And,
Do you think they've seen it long enough, or do I have to keep holding it like this? Do I have to keep holding it like this? Did you ever see that film? Wow. It was rated X.
Oh, really?
Never mind.
So, thoughts on the picture?
Blown away by it. I really don't know what to say about it. It's the highest honor to me when someone does something like this for us. It's just fantastic. I'm kind of speechless. However, I will say that it reminded me a little bit when we were kids growing up. There was an artist named Leroy Neiman, and he used to do this sort of approach.
Does that guy do Mad TV, Mad Magazine?
It's the guy with the wild mustache. Remember this guy had like a wild mustache, and he used to do, I think he did some art for Burger King of all things. That's what I remember him from. He painted Reggie Jackson. That's how I remember this guy. It goes that far back that this guy was already making his mark.
You're a musician,
Yeah.
right? Robert is a fantastic painter. I'm always in awe of people like you because I'm
Incredibly
pretty
talented.
talentless.
This guy is what?
Maria Davis
Yeah, boy.
picture is hot. It is. I mean, I'm humbled.
Yeah.
I really am humbled. Thoughts on RVD? So, when he was thinking about creating, he asked like who our favorite wrestlers were, and obviously, if I could speak for you, I think Hogan is our number one.
Yes.
All right,
That's safe.
So I didn't want just Hogan in there.
Okay.
So I knew you were a huge RVD fan who we had in studio, and I knew
Right.
you were a huge Jericho fan, and obviously a Phil Brooks fan. Didn't know if he was that high on your list, so I wasn't going to take a chance on that. For me, it would have been Piper or Savage, and Piper and Hogan are always my
Joker Batman.
Joker Batman. Yeah,
Joker
they just are.
Batman,
And
period.
forever and ever
Right.
and ever.
Yep.
So, thoughts on the choice that
Well,
your partner made for you?
Well, the Piper thing I love. I associate you with either. Well, I used to associate you with that boring podcast guy now from Hawaii.
Well, the guy who's in head-to-head tonight.
Yeah, that guy. And
By the way, the results are coming in, and
I'm
let's see what
just
we got
being
here.
rough on poor
Right
Don.
now, it's 50-50 between Lawler and Morocco.
Yeah, we'll
They're
get-
split
Well,
down the
they
middle.
should
These are the
be,
fans voting.
but they should be. This is a tough one. I mean, we're talking two absolute irreversible legends. It's tough. That one's tough. But I was very thrilled that you picked Piper. It made sense. Outside of Morocco, Piper's probably the next villain I think of when I think of the guys you love.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. And seeing RVD behind me will never upset me. I was like, wow, that was great. That's fine.
That's awesome.
Rob Van Dam is in my top 5.
Karma Israel, welcome, my friend. Said Piper lived in Bald Creek outside Hillsborough, Oregon, where I grew up. He's
Yeah.
a legend here.
Yep.
And the poster is awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Karma, it's not even a poster. If I could just show it again. This is a hand painting from our sponsor of the show. A hand painting. I mean, I'm in love.
And it took some time for him to do it, too. It wasn't just, thrown together. He put a lot of thought into it. He asked a lot of questions to you, obviously, about us. He wanted to get the right feel. And he did, because I look absolutely angry. So I was like, nice. Yeah, that's me.
I love it.
That's definitely me. Oh, Lord.
802 says, Lawler all the way. Loose Cannon says, Morocco had more ha-has in the 90s to me. This is right down the middle, man.
Yeah.
That's why we chose it. We'll be getting into it shortly.
Yeah, we will.
Anyway, I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Wisteria Hall, who, again, is just getting lots and lots and lots of love.
Got to get it in. Portman! Next.
The intro video for Tuesdays and Tony. I'm very interested to see what your downloads are looking like right now.
Yeah.
We have to get in touch with Bartman. Bartman's in control of that, or you're working that?
Yeah, of course, Bartman's. I gotta see Bartman. I think I'm seeing him this weekend. We're gonna
interested
squeeze
to see
some
if you
time
see
in.
an uptick. But anyway, we want to thank the fans who always support this show. You guys are so kind and wonderful.
Absolutely.
And, we just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Please go to the Wisteria Hall YouTube page, hit that like and subscribe, and also go to music where music can be found.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, Reverb Nation. Get great songs such as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind. The theme song for Tony Atlas.
Right, Finest Hour.
Finest Hour.
Right.
You know, I always have a problem remembering the title of that song. Why?
I don't know. We say it enough in the song.
I know. It's. I gotta tell you, what a home run that song is.
Thank
man.
you.
What
Thank
a home
you.
run.
Thank
I
Bart,
mean,
too.
oh my God.
Thank you, Bart.
And again, it's not an insult. I can't remember my last name half the time. So, Monte The
It's
Pharaoh
on the table.
If you didn't know it, you're watching
Right.
Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. You can catch Monte The Pharaoh on the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page and Monte The Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, Monte The Pharaoh. Catch us on New York Cable Channel 115 from 9 to 9:30. That's prime time, people. And then also on Tuesday morning at 1:30 in the morning. And then on Saturday on Channel 20 at 11:30 p.m. up against Saturday Night Live, where we want to thank all the New York viewers who have garnished us about 80,000 viewers a week.
Yep.
So we are humbled and honored, and we want to thank you all the support everybody's given us. We'll be right back to the commercial break, where we're going to discuss the passing of one of the all-time greats, a true legend, Mr. Angelo King Kong Mosca.
Join us in a few seconds, folks.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops? Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, seen here out of Indie Music TV. Jimmy Farrow?
All right, folks. Unfortunately, we have to break the, well, I'm sure most of you know by now, but Angelo Mosca, King Kong Mosca, has passed away. Brief summary, if I can. Born on February 13th, 1937, and unfortunately left us November 6th, 2021. American professional football player, professional wrestler, but really, truly a Canadian Football League legend. And I was really not aware of this, by the way, until I read about him after his passing in detail. 5 Grey Cups, which is the equivalent to his Super Bowl championship in Canada. 5 of them. 5! He's got a fistful of championships. He was also known in the Canadian Football League as basically a Jack Tatum. For those of you who don't remember or know of Jack Tatum, this was a dirty, rough and tough, old-school football guy. Apparently, that's what King Kong Mosca was to Canada with his 5 Grey Cups. Of course, he's, more famous to us as a professional wrestler, going under the name King Kong Mosca and Mighty Hercules, which I don't recall, but I recall King Kong Mosca, obviously.
Right.
Had a son, Angelo Jr., who also wrestled. To further enforce his validity as one of the all-time greats, he was elected into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in 1987, Hamilton Sports Hall of Fame in 2012, and the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in 2013. The great King Kong Mosca. How come he's not in Vince's Hall? Shouldn't he at least have some consideration there? I've seen lesser get in. How about that? I can say that. Great Khali, King Kong Mosca, get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Anyway, that's my thought on that. But what about your memories, Mr. Monty, from...
So when I first met Jimmy in junior high, we've told the story. Jimmy got me into pro wrestling, and I remember him telling me the tale of the great Bob Backlund.
Right.
That no one at the time could beat.
Right.
And so I really wasn't into wrestling.
No, you were making fun of it, but go on.
I was making fun of it. Yeah, so, buddy, welcome. Thank you for all the support, as always.
Yes, sir.
Marty Greenfield, thank you. He says adios, Angelo.
Yeah.
So I start watching wrestling, and I think at the time Mosca is making his first come to of the Northeast to the WWF.
Right.
And he's wrestling Backlund. I don't know if people remember, Mosca's finish was this, like...
Backbreaker,
but over his knee where he held you, right?
Oh, yeah. He pressed down on your neck and on your legs and just bent you like a rubber band. But, yeah, brutal, by the way.
Singers, what's up, big man?
Old school, simple, brutal. That move, which I loved.
Right.
Very convincing. You knew it had to hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
Easy enough to apply for a guy that size. Go on.
So... he gets Backlund in the hold, the bell rings, and I'm like, what is this all about? This guy that couldn't get beat? And, little did I know that I think Mosca got disqualified before he put him in it, and obviously title doesn't change.
Right.
Hence the introduction to pro wrestling.
Right.
Thank you, King Kong Mosca. You were the first bad guy I ever saw. John Riccardi says Pat Patterson got what he deserved from King Kong Mosca.
I'm glad he brought that up because Patterson, I believe, was reffing and screwed King Kong Mosca and boarded Mosca give him an ass
That was against Backlund, right?
Yeah, he beat the shit out of Patterson.
And they had a feud, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. Pat doesn't get the short end of those sticks, though. You know that.
Wait a minute. What do you remember from King Kong Mosca after he leaves the WWE?
Honestly, not too much because in those days we didn't really have the exposure to, a lot of other places.
And he never came back.
But man, you know what though? What an impression he left. Think about it. It's 40 years later.
Absolutely.
This guy left a huge impression. And can I quickly get this in? The match that you're referring to might have been at the Garden, but I also remember...
Yes.
During the summertime, now back in the days of cable television, if you were a WWF fan, you got to see Channel 9 once a week, and you got to see, if you had the MSG network, which most of us did, you got to see the once a month, which would be a pay-per-view today, would be the monthly title defense by Backlund on MSG. But if you were really lucky, and you checked your cable guide carefully, you would see that the USA Network was starting, even in the 80s, to dip their toe into the pro wrestling water.
Yes.
So I saw this listing, and it's summer vacation. Now that made it even better, because it's summer vacation. We can stay up all night. So I found at 1 o'clock in the morning on the USA Network from Landover, Maryland, WWF Wrestling, and it was King Kong Mosca against Backlund. I think Pat? I can't remember.
It was Backlund.
Right? And he got counted out, didn't he?
Yeah,
something like that happened. But we were
I think Backlund may have lost by count.
By count, that's what I mean. He got counted out, right?
Yeah.
But it was so exciting. People don't realize how lucky, or maybe how unlucky, we are today that we can just watch whatever we want, whenever we want. You couldn't back in 1980, whatever it was. So it was a real treat to be able, on summer vacation as kids, to sit up at 1 o'clock in the morning on a nice summer night and knowing you don't have to go to school and to watch a wrestling event that you would never get to see otherwise. Guys, it was so amazing.
If I could share this memory with you, so when me and Jimmy became friends and we were watching wrestling, some of my favorite times was like our first summer together as friends.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Yeah, New York was hot.
Yep.
100 degrees at night.
Yeah.
Your parents probably, like my parents didn't. Mr. Wonderful, welcome. My parents didn't really ever run the air conditioning, and Jimmy maybe would sleep over the house, and my parents had this large king-size mattress.
Right.
Fold-out couch bed.
Right.
And Jimmy and I would watch TV in the living room while my parents are sleeping.
Yep.
And
actually, they let us go down to the basement.
Yeah.
The basement was finished. You had a finished basement.
Yeah.
In my house, there was kitty litter and spiders, but you had kitty litter.
But we used to watch The Honeymooners?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we stayed up late.
Oh, yeah.
So then
Star Trek.
Every Star Trek.
forget Star
and then
Trek.
every so often you were lucky enough to also get Florida
Oh,
Championship.
well, that was the
Wrestling.
UHF button, and you had to pray that the snow wouldn't ruin it.
Right.
The snow was the fuzziness of the reception. So, yeah, I used to watch Gordon Soley all the time on Channel 47, UHF.
And then again, think about like pro wrestling, Madison Square Garden Network, every month.
Once a month.
As long as it was so. See, this is how you know that when people say Backlund didn't sell out the
Oh,
Garden.
stop it.
If it wasn't sold out, it was blacked out.
Right.
That's the way they played sports.
And it was
even
never
like
blacked
Yankee
out.
games,
Yeah.
anything else.
Right.
That MSG was never,
Not once.
ever blacked.
Not once. Not once. And it was special.
Now,
the
did
champion
Mosca-
was special.
Did
You saw him
Mosca-
once a month.
Did Mosca get a return match? I forget.
I think he did, and I think he lost. I do think he did, and I think that might have been where Patterson really shafted him and gave him a fast count. I do believe, but, I'd have to go back. But I'm pretty sure he got that rematch, and I'm pretty sure he lost it. Just like Backlund, always at the end, Backlund did get the win. You know, Backlund was the winner in the end. Nobody ever got the best of Bob Backlund until Arnold Skoland, not even Bob Backlund himself, threw in the towel when the Sheik had him in the clutch.
That's right.
Bob Backlund never gave in or gave up to anyone.
Do you remember Angelo's son, Angelo Mosca
Not
Jr.?
well. Not well.
But do you remember in the mags?
I do. Wasn't he
would
a
come out.
spitting image of his dad?
He
though?
was.
I remember
he was.
that much.
And
Yeah.
from what I understand, he was quite the football player too.
I believe that. That I believe. You can't be surprised. And by the way, King Kong Mosca was one of those truly great big men who didn't touch a roid.
Yeah.
I mean, this
absolutely.
guy was a monster, and he didn't
Absolutely.
need to take anything to make him look that way. Wow. What a
Total
beast.
Disaster said 2 matches in MSG. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank
That's
you,
what I
sir.
remember. Yeah. That's
So-
right.
Mosca never really came back, and he became an afterthought. I
Right,
think.
sure. I mean,
and then
he
he-
fell into that Killer Khan category for
And
me.
then we
you
saw-
know, like a
then-
great old timer, but
Then on the fateful day, me and Jimmy were at another station, and there was a gentleman over there that but he participated in a documentary called 350 Days. So being as supportive as we are, Jimmy and I went and saw this documentary
Okay.
out at the movie theater,
right.
which there was 2 people in the theater.
You leave me and you out of this.
There you go. And that's a true story. And
But
hence,
the popcorn,
the popcorn was good.
dude, the popcorn was awesome. Big giant bucket. It was great.
Marty Greenfield says WWF from the Capitol Center in Washington, D.C., hosted by Ray Morgan every Saturday at 8 p.m. Channel 5, New York Metro.
Very nice.
Dude, that is awesome,
That is
man.
very nice.
Oh, my
Yep,
God.
Yep, and in his territory, that was his weekly
So anyway,
thing. That's awesome.
back to 350 Days. Angelo Mosca's in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, it's Angelo Mosca. But the
Hmm.
sad point was you could tell that he had some sort of dementia going on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a bit sad.
Yep.
By the way,
Yep.
Jimmy,
Happens to the
just
best.
not that it should influence you, but
Yeah.
the fans are voting, and Morocco is up on Lawler,
Right.
61-39.
Very interesting. Very interesting. It's it's not going to influence me either way.
I know, but
and
I
I'm
got you.
going. And by the way, folks, this week, no preparation. I'm going on the fly. I just want to go by my gut, and we'll see what happens.
Suneda spreading. True, back in those days, it was like Christmas gift, and now we are spoiled. Boy,
Yeah, it really is.
the
It's
thrill.
Yep.
I
Yep.
remember
Yep.
me and Jimmy, hot 100 degrees, 1 in the morning, Florida Championship Wrestling. We're sitting in this bed watching, sweating our asses off.
right.
Right, and not sweating for any other reason, just sweating.
Yeah, this is starting to sound really
All
weird.
right.
I'm not shitting in bed with you. I mean, I don't know what the fuck
Well,
you're
it's not
talking
like
about.
that.
Oh my God, oy, oy, oy.
So anyway, final thoughts on 2 thoughts. Thoughts on 350 days.
Thoughts on 350 days. I would like to see it a second time because I can't remember it at all the first time, and that's not saying much about my first view. Okay, next question.
Angelo King Kong Mosca, if you had something to say to him before he passed, what would you say to him?
Thank you for the memories because you made me smile when I was a kid. I mean, what more can I say to the guy? I mean, he's a childhood memory. Thank you. You're a good childhood memory. You ruled, And it looks like it happens to the best of us. It's sad that he got dementia. What a tank. What a memory. And again, I mean, it's 40 years later, and we're speaking about him. We should be so lucky,
I would say, Mr. Mosca, thank you for being my first memory of being part of this wonderful sport that we call pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
With that, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with a little news, and then head-to-head with Jerry the King Lawler and the magnificent Morocco.
Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
You want to star in your own success? Call QuickCast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. QuickCast.
Star in your own success.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, seen here out of Indie Music TV. Jimmy.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, a hero.
Yeah.
Following a match in Birmingham, England, Orton was greeting fans at ringside. As Orton was walking around, he noticed a young fan being crushed against a barricade.
Ooh.
Orton asked the adult fans to back up, then made sure the fan was okay. He also spoke to the fan a bit before continuing to shake hands with other fans. Orton had teamed with Riddle to retain the Raw Tag Team title against Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, and the Street Profits.
Well, considering I do believe this week there was a real tragedy involving a concert where 8 people were crushed. That's a good thing what Randy did.
James JH 91745, welcome to monthly membership. Thank you.
Ah, thank you, sir.
First of all,
Thank
what's
you.
wrong with people, dude?
do you
It's
mean?
like
What?
they're ramming a kid
I
against
don't-
a. It's
I
like
don't-
what going out of what happened, I think, in Houston, right?
Right.
My God, what is going on with people?
You know what though? You could have asked this 50 years ago at the Who concert because it happened to the Who in Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't understand what makes these things happen or why all of a sudden people need to go forward. You know, I have no idea.
Mr. Wonderful asked Monte The Pharaoh, can you interview Mark Lewin? He's 83, and Andrew Anderson spoke of him recently.
I would love to talk to Mark Lewin.
I heard Purple Haze is still built like a beast.
I
dude.
would love to talk to Mark Lewin.
Suneda spreading. I hope I'm saying it right.
Well, okay.
Never turn on notification, but for you guys, I'll make an exception. Thank you, sir. That is a kind word.
There we go. Thank you.
Again, I want to remind everybody, tomorrow we've got 3 hours long on a Friday night. We've got actually 4 hours. We got This Week in Pro Wrestling, which is
Right.
taped.
Right.
But there's 2 shows, last week's show and this
Right.
week's show, because
Right.
our super producer forgot to put the last week's show on the thumb drive. You got anything to defend yourself there,
Come
Matt,
on,
on that?
give it to us. Wait a minute. First he's got to get the mic on, then he'll defend himself.
So I put the file on the drive, but the drive has
Issues?
it has issues, and it's
what's
done.
wrong-
It's
what's wrong
done
with
this
it?
before.
What-
It's
what
just
is
deleted it.
Is it emotional issues, the drive, or is it...
Like recent files, sometimes it just
There you go.
On-
Blame the
on-
drive. If it's
on the-
wong,
yeah.
blame the drive.
Well,
Yes.
it's not, well...
They're
I'm
crushing
trying to
a
help
kid
you
against
here,
a
right?
barricade. It's the drive's fault.
It's the... What drive?
I named
It was
it
the
and
drive to go
everything.
forward?
But anyway, so you got two shows of This Week
But
in Wrestling.
poor Matt, what the
Then
fuck?
we're going to the bullpen to replace Bill Dundee with someone just as good.
Wait a minute. Wait, Bill, you got Bill Dundee throwing bullets closing the ninth because he's superstar Bill Dundee. Oh, wait, but he injured his rotator cuff, and we're going to bring in to close the World Series with...
Eric Sims.
How long is he booked for? An hour?
We got Eric Sims for an hour, and you and me be drinking some good fucking wine.
Oh, you brought booze.
We will have plenty of
Good
booze.
move.
And then we have PG-13. We will be sharing drinks with PG-13.
No,
so
no,
2
wait.
hours of drinking.
No.
Matt, are you ready for that? 2 hours of drinking. Monte and the Pharaoh and PG-13.
You better give him some if he wants to have
Yeah,
as
Matt,
much...
you got to have a couple of schnapps.
Yeah. You like wine, Matt? He's like, should I?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, this was
All right,
terrible.
No, what?
The WWE told the New Day in advance that they'd be separated again in this year's draft.
Right.
Although the New Day is still technically a group, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston represented the faction as a tag team, while Big E was a single star.
Right.
The WWE separated the group during last year's draft as Big E stayed on SmackDown while Kingston and Woods went to Raw. When Big E cashed in Money in the Bank contract to win the WWE title from Lashley earlier this year, the group was back on the same brand for a short period of time. However, during this year's draft, Big E stayed on Raw while Woods and Kingston went to SmackDown.
All right.
We got the heads up, Big E said. I was hoping, though, that we'd be on the same brand and they would have done their own thing, and I could have done mine.
All this shows me is that Vince has respect for them because he gave them a heads up. I guess that's kind of important. He's always pushed them big time, so I see this as, hey,
802 says Woods is turning heel. Great point. Not yet, but I will say this. Would I ever have thought I'd see the day where I am excited for Roman Reigns to wrestle Xavier Woods? I am excited.
For the record, I hope King Woods' kingdom is overthrown ASAP. I can't stand King Woods.
Dude!
I hate King Woods, and I hate Sir Kofi, and I hope that the bloodline kills them.
But
kills them
now you're
dead.
excited.
What? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Roman Reigns murderlize him and jam the crown up his anus.
Kill him dead.
Down with the king. Boom.
Marty Greenfield says the deaths at the Who concert in Cincinnati were caused by people trying to get in due to unreserved seats. Very interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? I was younger then. I remember this.
Yeah.
Check this out. If this is a memory, and see if you remember this.
Dude, we were like very little when
we
that
were
happened.
right. So I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But I used to love watching WKRP in Cincinnati,
Uh-huh.
and they had an episode about that. And
Yep.
they were remember the
Yep.
whole they
Yep.
couldn't believe this.
Yep.
And I was like, that was my first taste of comedy television becoming dramatic.
Did you sing the theme song to it after you watched it?
Oh, I loved it.
Can you sing the theme song for us for a W?
Can you start me off?
Baby, if you ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. I'm in WKRP in Cincinnati.
Nice.
That's right. With Dr. Johnny Fever,
Hated
guys.
Dr.
For
Johnny
you
Fever.
young folks,
I hated
look-
Dr. Johnny Fever
What do you-
more than King Woods.
He was the best character on the show, and you didn't like him. What's wrong with you? He was the star. Howard Hessman.
Oh, my
wow.
God.
He was great. What were you, a Venus flytrap guy?
I liked Venus Flytrap. I actually liked the blonde.
Oh, Lonnie
Lonnie
Anderson,
Anderson.
of course.
Yeah.
Who didn't like Lonnie? Burt Reynolds really liked Lonnie Anderson, but that's a whole other story.
Until he beat her up.
Did he? Of course. Did his wig fall off when that happened? Wait.
Yeah, that's a
Stop
problem.
it.
You can't beat up people when you have a wig because they could just rip it off and
Yeah,
embarrass
pretty
you.
much. Aha! Everybody starts laughing. They thought you were a badass a minute ago. They're like, ha 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 ha! Butt rug! That's terrible. Wow, that's awful. Oy.
Oh my God, I just can't believe you remember.
So why?
WK.
By the way, let me get this out. It's very important. Xavier Woods is doing an outstanding job. By the way, he's great at this role. I just want to choke him though, because I've never been a New Day
You've
fan.
got Survivor Series coming up.
Yeah.
Put Reigns. Well, it's not any time, but I was saying if Reigns could just beat the living hell
Right.
out of King Woods, like
Right.
to like one of those matches where you just want it to be over. He's just beating him so bad, and then
Right.
that kind of juices up the Big E Roman Reigns Survivor Series.
I
But
can
I
see
think it's a
that.
little late for that, right?
Why not? What do you mean? No. I think
It's
I
like
think
2 weeks away.
So what? That's not the first time they've slapped something together. Won't be the last. Do it.
I got to
Beat up the king as soon as possible.
I really just wouldn't mind a King Woods Roman Reigns extended program.
Wow, what a tip of the crown.
I love it, dude.
Tip of the crown to King Woods.
I love it.
It is entertaining as hell, I'll give you that, but I still want to see Roman kill him. But I guess that's the whole point. Pick a side and hope that your side kills the other side.
Quick Roman Reigns temperature check. Where is he on your top 50 list?
Top 50?
Greatest wrestlers
How do you
of all
break
time.
that out on me right now? I don't know. I would have to think about it. That's too irresponsible to throw that at me like that.
He's broken into my top 10.
I can see why.
He's in my top 10.
I can see why
and
he's
clearly
I
moving
can
up
see
the ladder.
why. Roman Reigns is definitely, I have to think. He's probably in my top 25. I have to see where he would be, but I got to think about that one.
Maria
for a while.
Davis says WKRP Cincinnati favorite show.
Oh my God!
Crack me up.
Nice.
Les Nessman. Yes, Maria.
Les
Oh
Nessman
my
was
God.
Wow, was he finicky?
What a wonderful.
He was great.
What a wonderful show today. We're going.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break where we're going to go returning one of our favorite little spots head to head, where we put the King Jerry Lawler against Don Morocco. So right after this commercial break, let's all weigh in and let's see who will win this epic battle.
Ah! Puppies! See you in a minute. Doesn't say puppy. That's right, folks. Canine Corral. For all your dog daycare and overnight care, call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544.
Jimmy, I got to take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, seen here out of Indie Music TV. Catch us every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. And real quick, couple of things. A mess says, I agree with Pharaoh. Dr. Johnny Fever was the best.
Yeah.
Herb
Sure.
Harlick was comical,
He
too.
was great. The suits he used to wear with those pants, those plaid
802
pants.
says, Roman and Brock feud is climbing, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Wonderful says, how do you feel about Andrew Anderson becoming the new Purple Haze?
I don't know if I'd have to think about that one.
He's in
That sounds
Gimmick.
interesting.
That's his new thing, right?
That sounds
That's his
interesting.
new thing with Sullivan. So
I
think he
check
actually
that
looks
out.
really good in it, man.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
Andrew's
Yeah.
one of the guys.
Go for it.
Andrew's a friend of the show. He's one of the guys that I've always been amazed didn't get somewhat of an opportunity in one. Like when NWA Power came out, I
Yeah.
thought Andrew was perfect for NWA Power. I was like, why wouldn't they just call this guy? He's built like a brick shit house.
Yes,
and
he is.
I gotta tell you, they
That's a
still should
wrestler.
call him. They
That's a
should bring
wrestler.
Sullivan in
Yeah.
along with him as Purple Haze, and it would be a great idea, personally.
And I'll tell you what else. Personally, of course, yes, we're friends with him, but that is one resilient motherfucker. Andrew Anderson.
Oh, absolutely.
His resume, considering he's always seems to have someone trying to stop him from going as far as he could, his resume is awesome. I think
Absolutely.
he's done a great job.
Phil says, do you remember WKRP's Thanksgiving promotion with the helicopter?
Oh, my God. I need to go back and watch. I really do. I remember a particular scene where Johnny Fever was playing Dogs from Pink Floyd. And remember the boss of the place? Gordon Jump was his name as the actor. He comes walking in, and Johnny's taking a nap because Pink Floyd's on. What a DJ. He's sitting there. He's like this,
right.
But at least he thinks Johnny's taking a nap because he's always got the shades on.
Right.
Hey, Johnny Fever, And then he walks in, and this is when WKRP had decided to switch over to rock music. They weren't originally.
Yep.
So now he walks in, and he hears dogs barking because in the song from Floyd, Dogs, there's dogs barking. And he's looking around for the dogs. He's like, and Johnny's like, starts saying shit to him. He thought he was sleeping. It was just such a funny episode. Johnny Fever was fucking
Marty
great.
Greenfield says Dr. Jerry Graham was the best. Thoughts on
Okay.
Dr. Jerry Graham?
Isn't Dr. Jerry Graham, if he's talking about, isn't that Vince McMahon's favorite wrestler as a kid?
I think so.
Yeah, well, I think he had quite the influence
In
on
good
this
company.
business, you know?
All right, Matty, play the video, head to head.
Tonight, we are going to witness the most anticipated match in the history of professional wrestling for the heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so Jimmy's going to read the rules of head-to-head, and not to influence anything, but right now Morocco is winning 62% to 38%. Jimmy, read the rules.
Oh, before I read the rules, when did we start doing this? Where you start telling me what the people are saying before we do it? This is the first time. Why are you doing that for? I don't want to be influenced by anybody. All right, folks, let's do it head to head. It's been a little while. I don't know if you're seeing these in the order I'm going to spit them out, but I'm going to spit them out this way. Category 1, mic skills. You know, can you? What's the old Jewish term? Can you kvetch with me for a while? Do you have the ability to translate what you're feeling in an effective manner? Are you good on the mic stick, or are you basically making me want to go out for, fast food? Okay, number 2, we got mat skills. Well, that should be pretty obvious. How do you cut that rug in the ring? You got the moves, or are you going to basically hurt the guy across from you? Does anybody want to work with you, or does nobody want to work with you? What are your mics and mat skills? So those are 2 categories down. Category number 3, let's go with my personal favorite, the back of the baseball card. Where's your belts? What have you won? What have you done? What have you done for me lately? What have you done at all? That's the back of the baseball card. Category 4, the it factor. Do I remember you? Or am I basically trying to recall as hard as I can the impression you left upon me on last week's AEW Rampage?
There you go.
Went.
Oh.
So what is your it factor? Are you Hogan, or are you basically, oy. Category number 5, and the final category, the influence on the industry. I always go back to Hogan. I always will. What kind of trail did you blaze? What have you done to change things for the better or for the worse? What kind of impact did you leave? All right, so there is the 5 categories. We're going to take 2 greats, put them head to head, and see who the winner is.
So the first contestant is Don, the Magnificent Morocco, born in 1949, retired professional wrestler and podcaster. Best known for his appearance with the World Wrestling Federation from 1981 to 1988. That's quite an extended run.
Yes, it is.
Where he held the WWF Intercontinental Championship on 2 occasions, as was crowned the inaugural winner of the King of the Ring tournament in 1985. He was inducted to the Hall of Fame class of 2004. Magnificent Morocco.
All righty.
Thoughts on the Magnificent Morocco?
Wow. Well, you know darn well, and I don't know if we've really clearly spelled this out at home, but your very first feverish pitch favorite, because Sergeant Slaughter did come first for
Yes,
you,
he
okay?
did. Yep.
But is the Magnificent Morocco. You, one time, yes, folks, time for another childhood story. There was a guy at the school, and we were all friends, but for some reason, you two were fucking with each other. Mike decided one day to tape his thumb. And you Asiatic spiked this guy. Yeah. I still remember this. You went to school with your thumb taped. You thought you were Morocco. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And the guy's trying to ram you against the fence, and you look at me. I'm like, you're in a fight, and you stop to look at me to crack a smile, and you go, and you had taped your thumb. You start jamming your thumb into the back of his head, and I can remember him saying, and you couldn't see him because you had him in a headlock. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Bing, bing, bing, bing." I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Wow.
That was your favorite guy.
Talk about a lazy finisher, though.
Oh,
the
God.
Asiatic spike.
Yeah, but you know what?
Jamming it into someone's throat.
But in theory, and I'll never forget the first time I saw the Asiatic spike. I saw it on Gordon Soley's UHF Florida Championship Wrestling before Morocco got here. He's in Florida. And I saw this guy with this taped thumb get on the top rope, which back then was holy shit.
Yes, it was.
He's on the top rope, holy
Right.
shit. And he came down and hit the opponent right here. Oh God, that gotta hurt. That gotta hurt. And he was beastly. Don Morocco was effing amazing.
Maria, I think Maria and Phil were talking about Gordon Soley. So if people can remember, Morocco was one of my favorites when he came to WWE.
Right.
He defeated Pedro Morales, who I hated.
Boy, did we love him for that.
Oh,
Didn't we
my
love
God.
him
Just
for that?
that in
And I told you he
itself.
was going to beat him.
Yeah.
I said it. I'm like, he's not here to not beat Pedro. He's here to beat him.
Oh, my God, yes.
That was so
and,
great.
you know, back in that early days, right, Morocco would defend his Intercontinental title against much weaker opponents.
Sure.
Like Tony Garea, stuff like that.
Right.
But eventually, Morales comes back, defeats Morocco, and Morocco leaves.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're watching WWE, and then Jimmy and I would watch at 6:05 Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And here comes this mask guy. I think they called him the Execution. I can't remember off the top. It might have been Mr. X. I'd have to look it up.
Right.
But he had the lightning bolt on the back of his trunks. And I called Jimmy, and I'm like, put on Georgia. And you weren't watching it for whatever reason at that moment.
Right.
It's Morocco.
Right.
And we're flipping
We were
out.
going nuts.
And talk about...
But you didn't say it that way. My mother says Mike is on the phone. I pick up the phone. He's back. I'm like, who's back? He's wearing a mask. Turn on Georgia Channel. You were going nuts.
Oh, my God.
You're going wild.
And the first time I ever saw someone break down the fourth wall, I guess, Morocco and Georgia Championship Wrestling says,
What does he say?
"What's up, Wiz?" or something like that.
He
gave
did
the
a shout out
Wizard
to the Grand Wizard.
To the Grand Wizard.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
This guy's just breaking it all.
Yep.
And then everybody knows the big
Yep.
thing where Piper turns face and Morocco attacks Solely. And
Look, the roll of quarters
oh, my God.
will always stand out to me as one of the greatest pro wrestling moments ever, because the when Piper hit him and the quarters exploded everywhere. Oh my God, was that a great moment? And Morocco played it off too. I mean, my God, those two together, wow.
All right, the second contestant is Jerry the King Lawler. Prior to joining the WWE, Jerry King Lawler wrestled in territories, winning champions including many world championships throughout his career, AWA World Heavyweight Champion, 3-time WCWA World Champion, make 4-time World Champion at AWA and WCWA. He unified the titles by defeating Kerry Von Erich at Super Clash 3, forming the USWA Unified World Championship. He also was Memphis Heavyweight Championship on so many countless occasions. I mean, when you talk of the back of the baseball card, I think Jerry Lawler might hold the record for the most titles in the history of an individual wrestler.
Jerry Lawler is a damn legend. You know, it's funny. Us folks here on the East Coast pretty much remember Jerry for, you know, being one of the greatest color commentary announcers ever, but the guy was, to the AWA areas and to his areas, he might as well have been Bruno.
Oh, yeah. I think at some points he was.
I think he was. Or Flair, or whatever you want to call it for his areas. That's what he was.
And he might have been part of the problem, maybe part of one of the greatest angles in history of wrestling with Andy Kaufman.
That was absolutely unbelievable. I will never, ever forget that. I saw it live, and I was a huge Letterman fan. Remember when Letterman was super cool? Back in the early days when he was coming around, he was our late-night talk show host.
You're right.
Our parents had Johnny, and we had this guy Dave that we totally loved. Yeah, and I loved Andy Kaufman. I was a huge fan of Taxi, obviously, being an Andy Kaufman fan. And I thought that was as real as it gets. I was like, oh, my God, this is unbelievable when Kaufman and Lawler had their little thrown coffee cup exchange, et cetera, et cetera. Wow. And, boy, did that get over.
All right, let's put them up against each
Man,
other,
did that
buddy.
get over. Yeah, let's do it. Well, what do we got first? Let's do mic skills, right? Okay. Who's a better talker? Don Morocco, who you know could talk.
Oh, my God.
You know he's a top-tier talker.
And you know Jerry Lawler.
Or Jerry Lawler, who was the greatest one of the greatest color commentators of all time.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest promo men of all time.
Absolutely.
This is rough. You vote first.
Stinger says he won all the titles because he owned the territory. Well, come on.
Hey, look.
So did Vern.
Right.
You know
it is
what
it is. It is.
You got to trust
what it
somebody.
is.
You trust yourself.
Right.
Right?
And he was right to
And he
trust
was over.
And he was right to trust
And he was
himself.
over, yeah.
He was right.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with him.
I mean, what do you want to
yeah.
do? Turn around and tell the Von Erichs, bah, you've heard nothing. You know what I mean? They ran their territory.
James says, yes, Lawler was the Bruno of Memphis. I totally agree. So now you put it on me, Mike skills, huh?
Yeah, go ahead. Who's better? I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing. And I know you hate when I do this. I'm calling that one a draw. And I'm being very respectful to Morocco here because I would give the edge to Jerry.
I'm gonna call it a draw.
It's a draw.
I don't think you could choose either one. They
It's
were different
right.
in many ways.
Right.
But one couldn't be better than the other.
Both. Look, I love Beethoven. I love Mozart. Don't you ask me to
James says
to choose.
Morocco is better.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's fair.
If you picked one or the other, that's fair. But it's my job to be responsible about this. They're both
There's no
equally
clear-cut
amazing.
winner on
Yeah,
the mic
it's
here.
not clear-cut enough for me. And wow, what a comment to Morocco. What a compliment to Morocco considering all the things Jerry did. So that's a draw. All right.
Mr.
Matt.
Wonderful says I like Morocco most when he was in the late 80s in the WWE Best Body.
Nice.
All
Yeah,
right, go ahead.
his physique was
So
insane.
we're both agreed.
Yep,
Draw.
it's a draw. I'm sorry, folks. Now we got Matt skills. I'm going with Morocco.
That easy, huh?
I'm just going with Morocco. I think Morocco
What
was
puts
a little
Morocco
bit
over
better.
Lawler? Why?
Physicality. I like the, and that's probably the wrong thing to say, but I mean, I feel like Morocco's matches were better. I don't know. I think Morocco did a few more things that Jerry Lawler would never attempt. Let me put it that way. Didn't Morocco used to do pre-Frankensteiner type moves now and then? I mean, the guy was pretty interesting.
Frankenstein. Remember,
That's a bit
the
much,
finisher was
but
the Asiatic spike
know.
against the pile driver.
Right. What are we going to do?
You know what? I'm going to go with Morocco.
I'm going with Morocco.
I'm thinking about it. Lawler was a punch and kick guy most of the time.
Morocco was a guy who could go 60 minutes with Bob Backlund at the Garden.
You're right.
I'm going with Morocco on this one. That's just my,
Oh, ESO, he's so right. Don't forget Morocco's Body Shop. You're 100% correct.
Yep.
Maria's already saying, I will say Morocco is the best.
Interesting.
All right. Xavier Diaz, Morocco was the better heel.
Yeah.
Pulsar, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy.
Okay.
Morocco drank a 6-pack at night. He has my vote.
I'll tell you who blew boogers better, Morocco.
And ate
a sandwich in the middle of a match.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
All right.
So we got one for Morocco and a draw.
Got it.
Okay. So let's do. That's rough. Now, what do we do next?
Back of the baseball card.
All right, we'll do back of the baseball card. Oh boy.
I got to go with Lawler, man.
I'm going with Lawler.
The guy is probably the most decorated champion
he's
in
a former
history.
world champion. And you know what? He didn't own the AWA when he was made world champion. Okay, so we can't say that. He's a former world champ.
Well, he might have.
Did he?
Kind of.
What?
AWA is kind of going on.
Well, Vern was like, "Give me $20, Jerry. You could be champion."
Yeah,
that's right. And Greg was like, "I got 20." Greg Gagne.
Yeah.
I got $20.
I gotta go with. Stinger says Morocco would eat Lawler for lunch.
Yeah, of course he would.
Not if they wrestled in Memphis. He would.
That's true. He wouldn't.
All right, so I got it one. We got it one.
Yeah.
One, and a draw.
Yeah, I'm giving the back of the baseball card to the King.
This is tight,
Absolutely.
baby.
Yeah, it is.
Tight.
It's 1-1-1.
James says I thought the Body Shop was Jesse Ventura. You're right. It was Jesse Ventura. ESO, I think you're right. You're wrong. It wasn't Morocco.
This is going to get interesting. It factor.
ESO says Lawler sold better, Morocco better offense.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
Go ahead.
It factor. This is hard, man. I am having a hard time with this.
This one is really tough.
This is very tough. This is very, very tough. It factor. Oh, my God. I can't do this. It's a draw.
Wow, it factor. It's a
They both never made me ever want to switch the channel ever. With either one of them. That's rough.
I'm not gonna go in a draw with this because I'm just telling you what I think what the fans saw it. It might be because we're WWE guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the it. You know what? I can't.
Because
if I look in Memphis, Lawler was over. It's like I personally could give it factor to Morocco on a personal basis.
Right.
But if you legitimately look at it,
you look at the whole picture. To me, it's a draw.
It's a draw.
It's a draw.
All right, we got another draw.
So we've done 4 categories now. There are 2 draws, and Morocco and Lawler each have 1 to go with the 2 draws.
Yep.
So this is dead heat. Someone's going to win this right now or not.
Yep.
All right. Oh my God, this is terrible.
Unless this is a draw.
Influence on the industry. The winner of this head-to-head in the Pharaoh's book is Jerry the King Lawler. The influence on this industry, the Kaufman Lawler program, the fact that he went on to do all the things he did, the color commentary for a kabillion years. Most color commentary and head announcer teams you see are probably patterned after Jerry the King.
James says Morocco had the it factor. James, I agree.
Yeah, it's rough.
But if you talk to someone who watched Memphis wrestling,
right,
they would say Lawler had the
it factor.
It's
a big country, the United States.
Yeah, it's very difficult to like.
These are territory days.
Me personally, I would agree. Morocco had it factor.
Right.
But again, when you look at overall wrestling,
This
and you
is
close the book. Lawler wins this. I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler
wins this. He does.
All hail the king.
Yeah.
Phil says it's a time limit draw. It was close.
It's very close.
Pulsar says Morocco retired too early. You might be 100% correct.
Yep. Wow, that was a painful one, man. That was a painful head-to-head. That might be the greatest head-to-head
Wait a
ever.
minute. I want not to try to change your opinion.
Yeah.
Just want to say this.
Yeah.
Overall influence on the industry.
Jerry the King.
What is the most memorable match? Top 10 most memorable matches in history of wrestling.
Throw it out there. I can name a bunch, but go. What do you got?
Snooker Morocco, Steel Cage, Madison Square
Of
Garden.
course, it's one of the greatest matches.
Doesn't that influence Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, well,
I agree with you, but now I'm kind of like, I'm not sure.
Now, you have to understand that alone, what Jerry Lawler, let me put it this way. You want to talk about one particular specialty match? Okay, I agree with that. But let's really spell this out for the folks at home. The Lawler-Kaufman angle put pro wrestling public perception at such a higher level that within a few years, WrestleMania was possible.
You're right.
You would not have the success, the mainstream success of this business would not be where it wound up being without.
Isn't it very
Lawler Kaufman? It was huge. It made every newspaper from here to the edge of,
Isn't it very funny though? Andy Kaufman went to think about how sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Mm-hmm. J Dog, welcome, man. Lawler's feud with Bret Hart was hot. Pulsar says Captain Lou break the tie for Morocco. That's a good point.
Foreign object.
So Kaufman went to Senior and said, "Hey, I want to wrestle for you."
Right.
Senior didn't want to get involved. Junior was interested.
I bet he was.
And Senior sent him to Memphis to go meet Jerry Lawler.
That's right.
If Senior had passed away a little earlier, and
that
McMahon
program
took Kaufman,
this
whole thing could have changed. It would never have been a WrestleMania. It would have been totally a different scenario.
I think WrestleMania was coming one way or the other. The reason why Junior loved this idea of Kaufman and Lawler was publicity.
No, but he didn't have Lawler.
This was show. This was
been,
E and entertainment of WWE.
But it would have been Kaufman against somebody else.
That's true too.
And people, you got to understand something. I'm going to say
very true.
I'm going to say it. If it wasn't for Cindy Lauper,
I got you.
Lauper, right?
Cindy Lauper.
If it wasn't for Cindy, pro wrestling wouldn't be in the state it's in now.
Right.
She
Right.
is the fire that started it off.
She was the entertainment factor that was able to merge the MTV audience with the professional wrestling audience and to give us WrestleMania. Yeah, she
And gave
was,
us all those many years
absolutely
of great professional wrestling.
But the perfect wrestler to have for that entertainment purpose was Hulk Hogan.
Right.
So it was all the perfect storm. But again, to me,
if
influence on the
Kaufman-
industry.
right,
if Lawler and Kaufman don't do their thing,
That's right. That's right.
I'm not so sure things turn out the way they did, and I'm happy they did because I loved the WrestleMania early years, and I love WrestleMania to this
All right,
day.
we're almost out of time.
You know?
Xavier Diaz wants to ask one question.
Sure.
Lawler versus Funk.
Okay, fantastic.
Who?
Who am I? What?
Head-to-head.
Head-to-head? No. Nope. We don't slap them out that quickly.
All right.
We'll have to do that one day.
Sorry,
I personally, let me give him what I personally think at least. I personally would go with Terry Funk as a fan, but I've got a funny feeling Terry Funk would not win that head-to-head. I mean, who knows, but I would be rooting for Terry Funk to win that head-to-head.
Quick reminder. First of all, Chris, thank you again for moderating as usual, sir.
Yes,
You're
sir.
a wonderful human being. I want to thank all the people that spend their time with us every Thursday.
And if I can quickly, Chris, I'm very sorry that we didn't have head-to-head this week being the Pharaoh versus Dink.
Is that what he wanted?
He wanted the well, head-to-head. Yeah, get out of here.
That would have been great.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris. Maybe next
Chris
time.
has pointed out that we're very close to 15,000 subscribers.
Yes, we
so I will share a few things with some people for the short time
Very
that
short
we've been
time.
doing it.
Very
YouTube.
short time, yeah.
I've been interviewing with YouTube
Right.
on my sometime Friday nights.
They want to know about your mysterious friend, the Pharaoh.
They want to know about the Pharaoh. They want to
Right.
know about the show because of thanks to you guys, we've got onward momentum.
Absolutely.
Again, we're
Absolutely.
not claiming to be the most popular show out there. It's nothing like that. We just want to thank everybody for what they've done, and
Absolutely.
obviously Indie Music TV for what they've done.
Sure.
Also, just a quick announcement, if anyone wasn't aware. Tony Atlas, who is part of the network,
Tuesdays with
has
Tony.
signed on his character or his personality.
Right.
Is going to
His
be
persona.
Persona will be in the Young Rock season 2. I think episode 2 and 3.
So fantastic. That's so great.
I'm also we're trying to work out some deals for Marty Jannetty
Yep.
on the side.
Yep.
If Marty would pick up the phone today, we had a meeting today that he missed.
A little
But that's
busy.
okay. He was somewhere. I'm like, yo,
he was out
pick up the
there
phone.
somewhere.
All right, so quick reminder, tomorrow you've got This Week in Pro Wrestling, a double shot. Then we go live at 8 p.m., or maybe even, I think 8 p.m. we're going live. We'll have Eric Sims, and then 2 hours with PG-13, so it's going to be long.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to spending Friday night, and then you've got... you could go DVR SmackDown or watch us later on, whichever one you want. And then,
DVR SmackDown.
and
Watch
then,
us then.
you got Full Gear on Saturday night. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. And then I think on September 20th, we've got Baby Doll along with Ranger Ross
Nice.
in the studio. That's Saturday
Very
morning.
nice.
So I'm very excited for Baby Doll,
I
too.
know you are.
So
I
the
know
hits
you
keep
are.
on coming. I will tell you, I am trying to broker a deal to have Scarlett, formerly of the
Good.
WWE.
Good.
We'll see if that
Absolutely.
works out.
That'd be awesome.
I'm kind of. J-Dog says Boston wrestling sucks.
Yep. Agreed. Absolutely.
Well, with
agreed.
that, I want to thank you all. This is Mike Monty.
This is the Pharaoh, and until next time, which is tomorrow.
With a few hours away.
Yeah. Catch us two idiots drinking lots of good fucking wine. Later.